Hello! Welcome to Slasher Month here on RFMR. LOL BRB. How are you guys? I'm fantastic, and I believe it's time for another spooky entry. So dust the dried sperm off your hands and get ready to enter the mind of a really bad guy. Or maybe that's Mr. Good Guy to me. Child's Play 2 is a film directed in 1990 by John LaFaya. It is also written by Don Mancini, who I think wrote most of them, if not all of them. It stars Alex Vincent playing Andy once again, and Brad Dourif is back to lend his little potty mouth to our good friend Chucky. So they waste no time at all bringing back our little friend Chucky, which is not surprising to me at all. The Good Guy Company business dicks were worried because Andy Barclay from the first movie was telling everyone that his good guy doll Chucky was killing people and his mother backed him up. Apparently the cops denied everything. Isn't that just like a cop to do something shitty like that? Anyway, the Good Guy Company found Chucky and gave him a makeover. And I'm talking everything. New shoes, new overalls, and a brand spanking new ginger kid freckle set, you know? But when Jerry Springer tries to replace his eyeballs...
I don't know, it's stuck.
Fuck you guys for helping me come back to life, he says. Andy is seeing a psychiatrist, and by the way, I was right in my assessment of the first movie. Chucky is a pervert.
He's this bad man who got inside my good guy doll so he wouldn't have to go to hell. But then he wanted to get inside me.
That might have been too far. Was it? Was it too far for ya?
Stick it up your ass.
Andy gets adopted by Joanne, Emma Gruber's dad Simpson, until his mother gets done with therapy. Turns out he also gets a temporary sister named Kyle, who I'm pretty sure is an actress from Night of the Demons 3. Let me check Google. I don't see it. I don't think I'm right. By the way, I think these are people that don't have their own children, and I think that Andy asked kind of a funny yet awkward question.
It's been in my family for 3 generations. My grandmother gave it to my mother, and my mother gave it to me.
And who are you going to give it to?
Marge and Homer should have maybe thought about it before throwing a Good Guy doll into Andy's room. What a dick move.
I'm sure you're going to make all sorts of new friends.
Hey. Andy, rule number 2, no running in the house. It's only a doll.
Meanwhile, Chucky finds Andy, and yes, he kills a few people before trying to get inside him?
How's it hanging, Phil?
A lot more kills than the first movie, anyway. Chucky decides he'll trade places with the Good Guy doll that's already inside the house. But first, he's got to take out the competition.
Hi, I'm Tommy.
Shut up, you idiot.
I'd like to be hugged. 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 I'd like to be hugged.
Hug
I'd like
this.
To be hugged. I'd like to be hugged. I'd like to be hugged. I'd like
Once again, if I was the Simpsons, I probably would have burned Chucky by now, but goddamn if Chucky doesn't have the cutest little orange shovel, doesn't he? You know that statue that Chucky used to kill the other doll? That was the same one that Joanne said was given to her by her mother. So now... I think Andy did it. So Andy gets stressed and he takes up smoking. So Chucky kind of reminds me of Slappy from the Goosebumps Night of the Living Dummy series. Because he keeps wrecking shit and makes it look like Andy did it. I can see where R.L. Stine got his influences from, for sure. Anyways, Chucky gets thrown into the basement on account that he tried to tie up Andy and get inside him. But Kyle sneaks through Andy's window to get back into the house after sneaking out. Everyone's favorite nuclear family thinks that Kyle tied Andy to the bed. Chucky seriously looks more and more like Uncle Diddles the more I watch this series. Chucky's nose bleeds when he falls down the basement steps and realizes he's becoming human. Again. So Donnie Darko's teacher is being a bitch again. Chucky sabotages Andy's schoolwork and writes curse words on it. His teacher naturally thinks he did it and keeps him in detention. By the way, if you haven't seen Donnie Darko yet, I highly recommend it. Well, there goes any chance I'll ever review that. By the way, Chucky is in the closet.
Peekaboo! Please, let me out of here, Andy. It's dark in here. Let me out, you little dick! Let me the fuck out!
Open it.
Hey, come on, open it! Andy!
Okay, not to get too out of hand, but I'll let you guys follow the joke here. So Chucky kills Homer McGruber Simpson, and now Joanne doesn't really give a fuck about Andy and blames him entirely. Andy gets taken back to the orphanage he came from. Earlier in the film, Chucky buried another good guy doll under the swing set in the backyard. Kyle goes to swing on set and dusts away the dirt on the good guy doll's face. So Chucky reveals himself to Kyle, and they go on an adventure together to find young Andy. Kyle tries to foil Chuckles' plan of Andy domination, but her plan falls flat as fuck. Chucky ends up holding Andy hostage, and they hop a Play Pals bus to end up at the exciting and silly toy factory. Kyle steals a car and follows. Chucky does his voodoo takeover body ritual, but it's too late. He's stuck. So then he wants to fuck Andy up.
I fight it, Andy. We're gonna be very close. In fact, we're gonna be fucking inseparable.
So Kyle and Andy go through the last level of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And Andy wins!
Andy, please! I was hoping.
Or does he?
Got you now, Andy. And you know what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna cut off your legs!
Okay, Lieutenant Dan. Then he wins again! Or does he? It seems to me in these movies, they like to make Chucky get away with being more terrifying near the end of the flick. The direction in this movie was decent. I mean, it was a sequel. I mainly have to comment on the lighting and the sets in this because great job. The writing was a little lacking in this one though. I would want the first movie to be built on a little more, but it wasn't. Also, I would have made The Simpsons more yellow. The acting was alright. Alex Vincent was much better in the first movie as Andy, though. But the change of directors might have been a problem. The characters were all likable except for Phil. Dialogue was clever in this. It seemed they were trying to do the same thing with Chuck as they did with Freddy. Make him an icon because he has a voice. So it worked, but I would prefer something different at times. The music was half and half. The effects were done a little better than in the first film. Chucky had more articulation in his face, and it made the doll look a lot more alive. There was also some kill sequences that were done better and more often. Can I recommend Child's Play 2? Yes, I think I can. Those who like the first film as a film might be a little bit unhappy. But as it stands as a sequel, it really does try. It might be a little more on the fun side than the first, but it really holds its own. I give Child's Play 2 6.5 out of 10. It's fun, but it hurts. Thanks for watching, friends. And feel free to comment. And don't forget to work tomorrow morning. That Midget Production.